And that's why I said when a man says, I don't need a woman, that he's not talking about relationship. He's talking about period. Because women don't run society. They don't build businesses. They don't run infrastructure. So for a man
they
to
reproduce, we can't populate without women.
We understand that. I'm not removing, okay. So, and I said this when I had my soliloquy. We need y'all for intimacy, procreation, and expansion of family.
It's a necessity.
Removing that. It's value set. But when a woman says, I don't need a man, and to your point, she's referring to relationally, they don't say that part. Men don't have the ability to say we don't need men because that'd be a lie. We know that we can't win the championship without other men. We can't win the war without other men. We can't progress in society without men. We actually respect men more than y'all respect men, and your very survival is predicated on our existence.
So I agree with you, Naomi, that a lot of times you do hear women, say, I don't need a man, or I want a man, but you don't hear men say that. Men typically say, I need a woman. In this space, I beg to differ. I do hear that a lot about, men saying that they don't need a woman either. But more along the line, I guess the question is, what do men need women for? And I guess y'all can answer that more so. What do men need women for?
That's gonna depend very much on that man's plan and vision he has for his life. But typically, if we're being honest, the survival of a man is not predicated on a woman's existence in his life. That's just without fact. If he wants to expand his family, he's going to need a woman to do that, health, on a health level, right? But it's different. Most men, I think, when they're approaching relationships, they're operating from a place of like truly emotion, spirituality, the intangibles of sorts. Women bring nothing to men that they need, like truly need. I think the hierarchies of need is very basic. It's spelled out for humans, but that's going to be predicated on that man. We tend to give women a lot more value than they have, but because it's valuable to us. So what may be valuable in my life from a woman for me may not work for Hink, may not work for Edgar. It's going to be predicated on what I decide because I picked her. I had a vision. So I need her to fulfill this. And then in turn, that is, it's valuable or invaluable. But yeah, that's what it is. It's the conjunction of family. Other than that, men typically could live their entire life, in my opinion, and have no need for women outside of the moments of passion and things of that nature. And then I'll answer.
So you disagree with Naomi?
In what way?
Because she said that men don't say that.
Men typically don't say, well, okay, men may say it because when Naomi said it and I heard it, I think men may say it and it means something different than when women say it. Because typically when women are saying, they're referring to survival. They're referring to him bringing and elevating her life and sustaining it. When men say it, this is true. Men don't need a woman because women are not in the position normally to revive a man's life. So when they're saying it, that's what they're saying it from. Maybe it is ego, maybe it's pride, but that's typically what they're saying. And it is true. It's proven fact that men don't need women for them to survive.
There you go, Mistaken. Once again, I mean, and people like Mistaken, as I stated before, are disingenuous, right? Women on these panels, anytime we start to deal with these type of conversations, they get in their feelings because they want to feel wanted. That's the thing. They want to feel wanted, right? Because here's the thing. Let's just kind of go down the list. What has women created, right, that really has progressed this society in any kind of way, right? I mean, when we just kind of just think about it, let's just kind of go down the list. We look at your microwaves created by men, right? And I'm just kind of going off the head. So please, if I'm wrong, correct me, right? But if I'm not mistaken, somebody, right, decided to say, hey, well, you know what? We got so many women working at homes and they're constantly making this food from scratch, and it's going to take a long time to make this food. So, hey, how about we come up with a box? How about we just come up with a box to where we can actually heat up food? Oh, so you're talking about an oven. Another guy said, hey, well, let me go ahead and come up with an idea that we can have a small box, right? Make this box, right? But a lot smaller, a lot more compact. But the difference is it can heat the food up 10 billion times faster. I'm pretty sure man created that. The TV, the dishwasher, the dryer, so many things. The phones that these very women sit here and cry and complain on is invented by a man, and it was created by a man, right? And we're just talking about inventions. Let's just talk about creation. I mean, look at all the buildings that these women love to walk in. Look at all of these buildings, right? These women love to infiltrate, right? Oh, well, it was male dominated, so now we want to go ahead and jump into it. Men created those buildings, right? And if men didn't want to sit here and continue to have that building up and functioning, they would rip the rug from right up under your feet, and there would be nothing you could do about it. Here's the thing. Men understand that we've created practically just about every single thing, man, that women enjoy till this very single day. But we still will not part our lips to say that we don't need women, because we just understand that a woman's presence alone is something that we need. That's just something that we need. Now, question, but let's just be honest, we really don't need it, right? But men will tell you they need it because we understand, man, how valuable a woman can be to our life. But once again, the only reason we come down to these conversations is because women have started saying they don't need men. Once again, how can women sit here, create a conversation, then get upset when men engage it, and they just say, okay, well, here's facts. You're the one that wanted to start this conversation. You're the ones that said y'all don't need men. So now we're proving to y'all that y'all do need men. Now all of a sudden, hey, well, why can't we all? Well, you know what? Well, no. Why can't you just say that we all need each other? Because we don't all need each other. Men don't need women, but women need men. If y'all women get pregnant by a man and man just up and leave, then what? You're vulnerable. And if something happens to you, what is the first thing you're going to say? Well, this man just freaking dang got me pregnant and just up and left. I needed him. Women will always need men left and right, but it's not the other way around, and that's okay. But this is where your women don't understand their place in society. This is where your women don't understand their place in society. These are the same people that sat here and said, well, what? Hey, I want to work. I want to have the option to be able to work. Then they end up getting to the workforce. Then they come home and the first thing they complain about is work. And this is like, well, man, y'all fought for this. So it's just like, once again, man, the same people that they say that they don't need are going to be the same people they call when a man disrespects them. It's going to be the same people they call when a man harms them. It's going to be the same people they call when they're stuck up under a building. It's going to be the same people they call when they need some resuscitation. It's going to be the same people who they call, bro. It's going to be the same people they call for just practically about any goddamn thing. And it's just sad because women see this and they just still ignore it. Like I said, you got to have these women stop arguing in bad faith, because women who argue in good faith will never say no stuff like this. They will never say nothing like this. And as True said, I mean, hey, listen, we need you for children alone. But here's the thing, right, people? Here's the thing. Statistically speaking, kids fare better in a household raised by a father than a mother. So even then, we don't need you for that. So hey, guess what? We do? We just need you as a host. That's it. You're just a host. But see, that's the issue right here, right? You can say that and women will get upset. And that's the main issue. Well, no, we're more than just that, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, once again, you're just not understanding, man, what your real purpose is here, right? So let's continue.
That's kind of irrefutable.
So through observation, I agree with everybody's point on it. Everybody had good points, the ladies, right? Because we're the only people who can really speak on that. You're asking a woman, right? But if you look at action, right? I believe a man is a great value to a woman. But if we must be honest, we have single women on this panel, and we probably have a man checking for us, and we will not give him an opportunity, which means you don't need it that much. You understand? Because I need to eat. I'm hungry. I have to eat. That is a need. So I'm going to eat. But if you have a man who is checking for you and you're saying no and you're continuing to be single, there's something in that that's more so of a want than a need. Does that make sense? Like you're continuing. So what I'm saying to you is you're continuing to go to your, because I think of like you just stated in your argument, True. There's a reason why you need a woman, right? There's a neat reason why a woman needs a man, but can you live your life without one? There are women who do it every day, right? Only 30% of Black women are even married. So majority of them have to do it daily, right? Now, when it comes to like mistaken, said if you break it down, you like the infrastructure building, we're not going to take the value out of men, right? When it comes to what they bring to society and to the world, we appreciate that. Yes, we need men for that, but we're just talking about romantic relationship. That's something that this is a very different conversation than society needing a man. You understand what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's got people who want women who want women.
I totally.
Can I ask you a question? My bad, True. Shan, can I ask you a question though? So you said that a lot of these women have men that's checking for them, right? Would you also agree that a lot of these men that's checking for you guys are the type of men that you don't want? Would you agree with that?
I have a partner.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
so what I'm saying to you, Courtney,
I'm saying that, like, most of it, I'm just saying, like, in regards to if this was your dream guy, so to speak, right? A lot of women would go for that.
So that's not. So we're not talking about dreams here. Everybody will go for their dream partner. That's the
I'm talking
problem.
about
That's the one, right?
But if he checks the list off of the type of man that a lot of women say that they want, right? And if he checks the box off, she's gonna typically go for him, right?
She's gonna jump on it.
So with that being said, that doesn't fall under the one aspect. That just falls under, okay, well, he's not checking the list off, so I don't want him in that sense, right?
But that's the reason why. Like, I'm glad, Shan, you put a preface on it, right?
Yeah.
The conversation, I don't think is fluid in the sense that men need men to survive, right?
Everybody needs men to survive.
Okay, but we're defining it. We're landing it and putting it under the confines of a relationship, and that's why I said when a man says I don't need a woman, that he's not talking about relationship. He's talking about period, because women don't run society. They don't build businesses. They don't run infrastructure. So for a man to
reproduce, we can't populate without women.
We understand that. I'm not removing. Okay, so, and I said this when I had my soliloquy. We need y'all for intimacy, procreation, and expansion of family.
It's a necessity.
Removing that, it's value set. But when a woman says I don't need a man, and to your point, she's referring to relationally. They don't say that part. Men don't have the ability to say we don't need men, because that'd be a lie. We know that we can't win the championship without other men. We can't win the war without other men. We can't progress in society without men. We actually respect men more than y'all respect men, and your very survival is predicated on our existence. But on the adverse, it's not the same, because your existence, we only need so many women to populate the earth in a sense.
But you need a woman.
Again, I'm not removing that. Men understand this, and I'll land. When we're saying that we want a woman, it's for a particular reason. And typically it's something in the confines of intimacy, intangible things. But y'all do not benefit us in a survival-like basis, almost on any metric. And that's the difference. And I think that's why it's like laughable when women say, I don't need a man. Your very existence is us. Your job that you covet, man. Your idea of success, men gave it to you. So it's like blasphemous for women to even say that crap. And, but I'll let.
I think a lot's been said. A lot of lies been told. To say any woman who says I don't need a man, she lying to her goddamn self. But we all know women rather hear a lie than hear the truth. That's just women. That's most women. It's a lot of women up here. So with that being said, you want a man, but you don't need a man. Now, you need a man. That's why you want one. That's why you want one, because you know you need one. You know how you move and operate wouldn't be right without you. Yeah, you can say you can go get a pistol, but if that man got the drop on you, ain't nothing you could do. Now you hoping that male cop comes and does his job as a man. You ain't gonna want no woman firefighter try to carry your heavy ass about the burning building. You're not gonna want that, because it's gonna take about 4 of y'all to carry one of these big heifers. Because they not small no more. Y'all built big. So you're not gonna want no woman trying to drag ass out of fire. You don't want no man as an EMS that he might have to do chest compressions on you multiple times, then find a way to lift you up on that gurney. Yeah, you're not gonna want a woman to do that, because she can't afford to do it. She can't. They can't lift them. They can't do nothing with them. So you need a man, whether you want to accept it, admit it or not. We was in some conversations. earlier, talking about blue pills and shit like that. Somebody said they're going to place it in the food in order to get that man's erection. God damn it, that's crazy, but she realized. She don't want that goddamn plastic.
I missed that.
Shit. She rather poison her goddamn husband in order to get that erection.
Mistaken.
She need that man. I'm just saying. So these are the type of conversations we listen to up here, and people are just lying. And then staying with this bullshit ass nervous laugh and bullshit. You know you lying too. Because you got a man checking in on you on a regular basis. That's the thing you want. You want a man. You don't want no. Look, your girlfriend's checking on you all the time. But the sound of a man with a goddamn deep voice. Hey, baby, how you doing? Is everything good?
Sexy one with a good
thing over there. Oh shit! That Rose ain't gonna be charged up long enough before you start hitting that thing hard. After that man hangs up with you. Hey, I was wondering if you could come by and check on some things. I thought I heard a noise in the backyard. I bet you did. Yeah, you need that man to come through.
Why can't we just meet each other?
Make sure. No.
We can.
I didn't interrupt nobody. I was respectful. I sat back for a long time and let the lies flow. Now let me lie. Is that okay? Let me get my lie off. I want to lie too. Like y'all lying. Can I lie too? Thank you. I appreciate y'all letting me lie just like y'all was lying. We're going to lie together. God damn it. As a man, I'm not going to sit there and say I don't need a woman. I tell you the minute I have no problem, I need my wife. I need it for many things. I'm not going to go into all these details on why I need my wife knows, and that's all that matters. It's not for me to tell everybody why I need her. I need her. She does a lot of things for me that I couldn't imagine. She puts up with me. That alone, let me know I need her. A person of the opposite sex puts up with me, yeah, I ain't the easy person to get along. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm hard to deal with sometimes. But for majority of the time, I'm good. But when I ain't, she's still there. She sticks with me. You know what I'm saying? She makes sure I'm fed, get my nourishment. She makes sure I'm good. When I need that softer side, when I got to deal with my daughter, or my granddaughter, my son, certain other people, yeah, you can't talk to them like that. You can't do them like that. And she reminds me. She ain't got to say shit. I just look at she remind me. Yeah, I got to be a little more soft. I got to be a little ease. I can't always come aggressively. And I could agree with that. And it's just a friendly reminder for me. I ain't got no problem with admitting that. That's some of the things she does, amongst other things. So to sit there and say, men, we don't need, yeah, some of y'all know y'all need women more than us. Now, we might not have the privilege as people. You may not be able to get a woman, or a woman may not get a man. Well, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out why you didn't get no man. Maybe you need to have a self-evaluation, to come to Jesus moment on why you ain't getting no goddamn man, or man ain't getting no woman. You got to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And make the proper adjustments. I'll land it there so y'all can interrupt me.
Shane is no different than any of these other women out here, man, any of these other feminists out here who just want to truly say, hey, man, here's why I feel like I am needed. But you're just not. You're just not. Because once again, these are the same women that will call men to come help them out with certain things that women just can't help them out with. Once again, we will always call other men because we understand that this man will be more capable than this woman right here. And that is just going with any and every damn thing in life. Y'all remember the island where women, I guess where a lady created her own island. Y'all let me know, man, if that stuff is real or not, right? But I mean, we done heard so many stories about this island ran by women, right? A woman said, hey, well, listen, I'm gonna create an island, but it's only gonna be for women. But guess what, right? And men already know it. But when maintenance needed, when things needed some maintenance, when things were broke down and they needed to be fixed, guess who they called? Men. And guess who came out there? Men.
After selling her IT company, entrepreneur Christina Roth set out to create a space where women could unplug, connect, and recharge on their own terms. No men allowed. That idea became Super She Island, an exclusive women-only retreat nestled off the coast of Finland. The 8.4-acre island features high-end cabins, traditional saunas, and curated wellness experiences, all designed to nurture mind, body, and community. Again, no men allowed. What began as a personal blog and intimate retreat quickly evolved into a global network of more than 3,000 women. And now, this has since closed. Can't imagine why. This has since, was there like a cat fight on the island? I'm just wondering, just asking. Can I not ask a question? Okay. So this has since closed. And what's really interesting here is that you look on Wiki, right? I'm not saying everything on Wiki is true, but this was in a number of locations. It says this quotation about it. It's supposed to be women only, right? The whole point is women only, get the guys out of here. The implication being guys are trouble, guys take away your peace of mind. We need a nice wellness space where men are kept out, right? Check out this quote. After purchase, male construction workers were working on the island to lay lines for power and water and gut renovation. That was the only time men were allowed on the island besides Roth's close family and friends. At the end of the day, she needed men, right? And the funny thing is you look at the comments and they're like, well, who built the saunas? Who built the infrastructure? Who did all the plumbing on the island? So basically, men set up the whole island for her. Men set up the island and then were told to get out, right? Left. And then were invited back only when they had to do repairs. Right? Oh my God, the plumbing is a mess. Call the guys. Call the guy. What are we gonna do? Right? Oh heaven, there's a bug infestation. Call the men. Get them in here. Close down the island for a couple of days. Let them come in here and fix this. So I love this because it fits the whole we don't need men. And it's so fascinating to me. Imagine the idea that you're setting up a whole island, which flopped. And you're making it women only. Guys aren't invited, but they have to set up, do all the grunge work, right? So, honey, you did need a man, right? The island that you created, this idea of yours would have just existed in your mind, honey, if the guys didn't come in and do all the damn work. They did all the work. And honestly, these guys, man, I'm telling you, I know they probably get contracted and they take their money and they say, let me get the hell out of here. But, I would have been like, oh, so you want me to set up your island, but I'm not invited to stay. Just do it yourself, honey. Do it. Let me see you digging in that dirt, getting your fingernails, those long pointy nails that you probably have, getting all dirt underneath. I want to watch. Guys, man, it must be so fun for you sometimes to watch women try to do these things. Construction. Ooh, it's got to be a blast. So bottom line is we need men. Men built everything. Men maintain society. They come in, they do all of the important things that maintain a society. And when women say they don't need men, they're lying. They're lying. They're going to come call it for you when shit hits the fan and you know it. You know it. All right. Perfect example. Imagine, honestly, who the hell would stay on Super She Island? I would rather, I'd rather take my chances with the guillotine, frankly. I mean, this has to be, can you imagine a whole island with just women just going at it, driving each other crazy? Estrogen dominance, it's got to be, oof. I don't know. I wouldn't call that wellness, honey.
Right? It does not make any sense. You want to have a place only for women just to then still have men. And then they have the audacity to sit here and say, well, no, we just only need you here to do this. Once you get done, you need to get out. Nah, bro. Now, what happened in the men said we don't want to do that anymore? What happened if they say, well, no, listen, I get it. We're here for the money, but also at the same time, we want respect as well. What are you going to say if they just say, man, we're not going to do this anymore? Well, then what, right? You're going to be looking real stupid. You're going to be looking real stupid. You're going to be then complaining, well, then why did they just, why don't nobody want to come in? And then the island is going to fail, which I think eventually it did fail. Even funnier, guys, you have a woman getting her head knocked up against a window, and guess who came out there to her rescue? A man. And guess what? Guess what? The guy ended up shooting the other guy. Just let me see, man, if a woman sits here and hit up on another man and another woman comes out of nowhere and tries to protect that man, you will never see it. You will never see it, but you will always see a man go out his way to try to protect a woman, because guess what? A woman needs a man.
New at 5:30, we now have security camera footage that shows the moments leading up to a deadly shooting at a Decatur gas station.
11 Alive's Kara Belger breaks down what we know so far.
One of the clerks who works at this gas station on Candler Road tells me the victim was just trying to break up a fight when someone pulled out a gun and shot him. A clerk at the gas station says this security footage shows the man who was killed when he tried to stop a fight. You see the victim approach a car parked at a gas pump. Police say inside a man and a woman were fighting. At one point, the man appears to start yelling and pointing at the car, and police say he tried to intervene when the man inside the car pulled out a gun and shot him before driving off. This store clerk says customers then came into the store screaming.
They're scared, they're running to the store. They ask me, hey, call the police, call the police.
It's the third shooting at a Metro Atlanta gas station this week. Investigators again are still trying to track down a shooter in this case. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the DeKalb County Police Department. In Decatur, I'm Kara Spelger, 11 Alive News.
And then the biggest point of this whole video is what Shane said, right? She just wrapped this whole video up all in one. She says, why can't we all just need each other? Well, ma'am, if it makes sense, then yeah. If it makes sense too, then yeah. And guess what? It makes sense to men that, hey, well, of course we need women just to procreate and just to have on our side. That's all we really need women for. Other than that, I can get men to help me out with anything else I need. I can have men help me out with anything else I need. And that's just how women think today. They know men don't need them, but then their only response, once they start getting hit with logic, the only response is, well, why can't we all just need each other? Well, baby girl, because like I said, if it makes sense, then sure, but it doesn't make any sense. And we've already kind of went through this. We've been going through this for years. The police force don't need women, but the fact that they allow women in is just because women have cried and complained, and they said, well, hey, because we're the children that nobody wants to play with, though. It's just like, bro, shut your ass up and go in the goddamn corner, bro. Please, go in the damn corner. Nobody needs you. Nobody needs you. But guess what? Hey, because we want to have DEI, because we want to make women feel like we need them, right? We need to make women feel like we need them. We're gonna go ahead and lower the police standards, right? Lower America's safety just to make somebody feel happy. That is wild, but if that doesn't show you that, hey, well, women need us to validate their feelings, then I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know how else to prove it to you. But y'all let me know down below, man, what y'all guys think. Give me a huge favor, leave a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Until the next one.